Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today I will teach you what is statistics. People usually consider statistics just as a mean median mode, but it is not so. Statistics is a science that helps to collect the data, analyze it and interpret it. So it is considered as a science that has some tools and techniques to extract information from the data and interpret it. So basically statistics is further categorized into two segments. One is descriptive statistics and other one is inferential statistics. In descriptive statistics we have measures or techniques like graphical representation, measures like standard tendency, method dispersion measure, etc. In inferential statistics it is further categorized into two parts. One is inference hypothesis testing and estimation. Now in this module I will start with the basic definition of statistics. After that, classes of statistics. It means we discuss what are the branches of statistics. After that I will teach you the need and the importance of statistics in different sectors. Like I will cover the importance of statistics in banking, in social sciences, in natural sciences, in demography, in accounting and other sectors. So let us start. The basic of statistics is a science that uses different tools and techniques to organize the data in the descriptive form and also extract information from the data that helps in making decision. For example, let us consider a survey in which our objective is to see the population in a particular region affected with a particular disease. So we use statistical tools to develop the questionnaire, or you can say we use statistical method to test the questionnaire. After that we use statistical techniques to collect the data from the field, and after that we use the data for statistical analysis and interpret the result according to statistical techniques. Now it is also considered as a study of collecting, analyzing, interpreting, presenting and organizing the data. As I already mentioned that the example of survey in a field is related with the study of statistical tools. Statistics consist of a body of methods for collecting and analyzing data. That definition is given by Agresting and Finlay in 1997. Statistics is basically used to get insight into the data. So our basic need is, if we have some form of data that is available with us, how to extract information from that particular data. So we use statistics and its different tools to extract the information from the data that is in your hand. So statistics helps to get an overall picture of an objective from the data based on graphical presentation or numerical calculation. It means either you can represent your data in graphical presentation or in numeric form without any constraint on the number of observations. It means we do not have any constraint on the number of observations in which we can apply these techniques. It not only gives graphical representation but also make inference and predict relations among variables. That means if we have a small segment of the population data that is called sample, then we have statistical tools or techniques with us that helps to extract the information from that particular segment of the population. Now come to the classification of statistics. Statistics methods have different branches and each branch has its great importance in the literature as well as for practical point of view. That means we have, let us suppose, we have two branches of statistics. One is inferential statistics and descriptive statistics. In descriptive statistics, we have different further segmentation. One is graphical representation of data, center tendency measures, dispersion, correlation, rejection, etc. So we use these methods or technique to represent your data graphically, or we use these techniques to extract the information from the population that will provide you a figure that will help you to represent the answer in a correct manner that a person can easily understand. So now come to the segmentation of statistics, descriptive statistics as well as inferential statistics. We already discussed about the segmentation of descriptive statistics. Now come to the inferential statistics. In inferential statistics, we have two branches. One is estimation and testing of hypothesis. In estimation, what we will do, we have a sample of a population. We extract the information from the sample using techniques of estimation that I will discuss further in further modules. Now in testing of hypothesis, what we will do, we frame a hypothesis and see whether these hypotheses are true or not. So we have technique with us that helps to test the hypothesis whether they are wrong or right. So in statistical term, we called it whether we are going to accept the hypothesis or going to reject the hypothesis. Now come to the descriptive statistics part. In descriptive statistics, graphical representation methods like histogram, bar chart, pie chart, mosaic curves, box plot are used to present data in graphical form. We already heard, or you can say you already have seen histogram, bar chart in our daily life. Either you are aware of it or not. Recall an example, or you can say in any newspaper you can easily see there are some graph in the newspaper that represents an increasing lines or dots on the paper. I will show the format of these particular graphs in the further module, but we can easily see, or you can say we are aware of these graphs in our daily life. Now in inferential statistics is used to extract information from the sample as well as to test the significance of an objective based on observations using testing of hypothesis. So it is further segmented into two parts. One is estimation. Estimation technique is to extract information about the population from the sample. That means we have a sample with us, and how to extract information from that particular sample, in that case we use estimation. Now second is testing of hypothesis. This method is used to test the significance of a statement about a population. In this method we frame a null hypothesis, or you can say a simple hypothesis, and we want to test whether this statement is true or false using some statistical techniques. Now the question is how statistics works. Statistics is basically used to find solution for an objective or a problem in different areas. For example, if a person is interested in calculating the height of the student of a college in particular region of a state for study. Now as we are aware of that the height of a student is not same. That means all the students have different heights, and we want to see what will be the average height of students in a college. So we generally consider mean as a best measure to find out the average value of a height of student in a college. as mean is generally used in daily life and it is considered as an average of given values of a thing that has same characteristics. If the observations have little variation in terms of height, then average value is close to observation values. Otherwise, if the observations are not homogeneous in terms of height, then the average value is different from observation values. What does it mean? It means that if all the students approximately have same height, then mean will represent the true value. That means all the students have a height that is close to the mean value. If the student has a variation in their heights, then the mean value will not be a representative value for the average height of a student in a college. Hence, we can conclude that different statistical tools are available to extract the information regarding a particular objective from the data. Now, we will consider the need of statistics, why we are using statistics in our daily life. So, for that I will give you some definition of needs, or we are using statistics or basic mathematics intentionally or unintentionally in our daily life. There are many examples, like while buying any item from the market, people used to inspect a smallest fraction of an item to check the quality. We call this selected item as sample, and whole lot of an item from which item is selected called as population. As we are more dependent on information technology that enables us to develop different tools and techniques or devices for different purposes. For example, mobile phone manufacturer companies want to increase the credibility of their product. In this case, company want to see how they can increase the credibility of the product using statistical tools. For these reasons, company used to spend a lot on the research and development department. For testing the reliability of products, statistical tools and techniques based on data are used. Also, with increase in the complexities of the system, new tools and techniques are required, whom are more efficient and less costly. As we are already aware that with improvement of technology, there is lot of complexity in the field, or you can say in the market. So with the increase in the complexity, how you can predict the information from the objective in more accurate manner using statistical tools. So to fulfill the demand of data analysis, consistent research is going on to cater this need. Hence, there is consistently increasing in the demand of statistical tools and techniques with the passage of time. You can say that with the passage of time, there will be requirement of more new statistical tools and techniques that helps to extract the information from the data, or you can say how we can predict the future in more accurate manner using these statistical tools. So in a figure 2, I will represent a simplest example of statistics, that how a person can understand that using these graphs one can easily see that how inflation is going on in years. So from figure 2 represents trends of inflation per year from the year 2001 to 2006. In this figure, one can observe that in 2002 inflation was less than in 2001. There was an increasing trend of inflation from 2001 to 2006, and it declined till 2006. Need of statistics. The purpose of graphical representation helps in understanding the objective in a better way. So it is also easy for a layman person to understand things. Statistics helps in providing information that is hidden in the data, either in descriptive form or inferential form, that you can easily see from the figure 2, that using graphical figure one can easily see that in 2001 till 2004 there is an increasing trend of inflation. After that there is an decreasing trend of inflation. So statistics helps in explaining these things to a layman person also. For example, sampling techniques are used while buying grocery items and vegetables and fruits in the market. So when a person go to the market to buy something, he picks an sample, or you can say he select a sample from an item and see whether it is of good quality or not. If it is of good quality, he purchased that item, otherwise he left it. In statistics, there are different functions available to estimate the population characteristics. The one who estimate the population characteristics in more accurate manner is considered. There are some parameters, conditions. Based on them one can check the optimality of the function. For example, if we want to see that what will be the average height of students in a college, then we will consider mean as a best estimator. So here our population parameter is the average height of a student in a college, and the parameter that we are using to estimate the average height of a student in a college is the mean. So for example, if one has to study the average expenses of a middle class family on a food in a particular small town, using sampling techniques one can choose some houses from the list of available houses, then collect responses from them. This data is analyzed further to get an estimate of the average expenses on food, as a single figure does not represent the expenses of middle class person on food. Statistical methods also help to give an interval containing lower and upper values, so one can predict that expenses on food lie between this interval. Now come to the importance of statistics. Statistics, as we have seen, has a great importance in our social life. So statistics also has a great importance in different areas, like the existing status of per capita income, mortality rate, inflation, population density rate, etc. This is a reason that statistics hold a great importance in almost every field, like industry, economics, mathematics, astronomy and nursing. Now, as if we want to see the importance of statistics in industry, as statistics has its great importance. Industry growth depends on the demand and supply of goods, customer loyalty and market stability. Statistics helps businessmen to plan production by taking into account all the possible factors that affect the sale of goods. Quality of products can also be checked by using statistical methods. In economics, economics deals with the study of factors that affects the economy of the world. So basically economics depends upon the figures of these factors, and with passage of time these figures keeps on changing. Economists use statistical tools and techniques to predict these factors with accuracy. Statistics is also used to compare the factors like demand and supply, import and export, inflation rate, the per capita income, etc. In mathematics, statistics and mathematics are a complementary subject. In mathematics, we use descriptive statistics as well as inferential statistics like standard tendency measures, dispersion measures and estimation testing of hypothesis, etc. In statistics, we use integration, derivative and basic algebra for analysis purpose, as mathematical tools and techniques can only give you most reliable results if they are based on strong evidence. Statistical methods are used for collecting these evidence with higher probability of more precisely. Now in banking, statistics has a great importance in banking field. As banks principal duty is to deposit money of depositors and use that money for issuing loan to lenders. There are many factors like rate of interest, economic stability, etc. that determines the business of the bank. These factors keep on varying with time. Hence, it is important for banks to predict these factors more precisely as possible. Statistics techniques play an important role in predicting these factors with high probability. Also, statistics help banks to predict defaulters or loans. In administration, statistics methods are basically used for collection as well as analysis of data, and also for the interpretation of the results in different sectors of administration. In government offices, most of the projects for social welfare depends on the successful working. Statistical methods will be used to determine the rate of inflation that affects the cost of living. Also, central and state governments' budgets depends on the statistical tools that help them in estimating income and expenditure from different sources. In accounting and auditing, accounting is used by firms to maintain the balance sheets. It is based on data and it does not survive without the authenticity of the data. In accounting, statistics is used for decision making purpose. For example, how to correctly quantify the assets of the company, liquidity value of the assets, how to calculate depreciation cost of the assets, etc. All these decisions are based on the market condition. For example, all electronic assets value depleted within months due to high new technology development rates. Now come to the importance of statistics in natural science. In natural science, for research and development purposes, laboratory experiments and fields experiments are conducted. So information is gathered in the form of data. For example, a scientist are intended to test the effectiveness of newly developed drug for the heart patient. Now we use statistical tools or techniques to see whether this drug is effective for a patient or not. In this case, we use testing hypothesis method that will help to study that whether drug is beneficial for a patient or not. In social sciences, in most of the research area is done with the help of questionnaire and fieldwork. Statistics is used to test the reliability and validity of the questionnaire. It is used to analyze the data obtained from the questionnaire and draw inference from them. For example, most of the social workers collect information through questionnaire, and using this statistical technique they further analyze the questionnaire and after that interpret the result using statistical tools. In astronomy, astronomy deals with the densities of heavenly bodies, masses, measurement of distance between stars and planets, their sizes as well as their activities in the space. For example, from the old days, least square method is used to find the movement of stars. In demography, demography deals with the study of population structure, sex ratio, health status and age group among population. It is difficult to collect information from each individual. Statistical methods are used to determine sample size and sampling techniques based on objective. For example, if a person is interested in studying the mortality rate of cancer patient in a state, then they use statistical tools to collect the data related with the cancer patient, and hence they can provide the information to the government that such amount of cancer patient exist in the whole population. As we have discussed what is statistics, its branches, in which we discuss what is descriptive statistics, and further we also give some information about standard tendency, measures, graphical representations, and in inferential statistics we give you brief information about estimation, testing of hypothesis. After that I will give you some basic information about why we need statistics, and in which we discuss that in our practical life we consider statistics as for collecting the information, or you can say we are using statistics in our daily life either intentionally or unintentionally. After that, importance of statistics is discussed in different fields, either in banking sector, in accounting and auditing sector, in natural science, in social science, in economics. Here I have shown that in all these sectors where the data is available, we use statistical methods or techniques to extract information from these sources. Thank you.